As costs of everything have gone up, the cost of insurance has exponentially gone up.
That's true.
And the value proposition, should you have a loss, has gone exponentially down. If you're having a problem with your insurer, and that is easy today, you don't feel like you're being treated right, they're delaying the claim, and we're going to go through all that.
Yeah.
You need to let the Department of Insurance know, because they're keeping track of this information.
Right.
And at some point will make some recommendations or penalties or something.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Airing of Grievances. That's Robert Grieve. I'm Eric Reamer, and it's always a pleasure to have you along with us today. If you are joining us for the premiere on Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. in the Mountain Standard Time Zone, you can actually chat with us. That's what that looks like. And Rob and I will be here together to chat back at you. And if you are a first-time viewer, don't forget to click the subscribe button. That lets you know that every time we drop another video, there's something worth looking at and quite possibly sharing in the hopper for you. Now, the first thing first, if before we get into the story here today, Rob, we're going to ask our friends to give us the thumbs up as well. And the thumbs up helps because YouTube then realizes that somebody's engaged in this. That's why we ask for the comments, we ask for the chat.
We want to hear your comments anyway.
We do, because sometimes your comments are especially helpful to other people.
Yes.
And every so often, your comments are fun. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you. We appreciate you. And Rob, with that, we say happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. My dear friends, happy Saturday. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you, especially our regulars.
Absolutely.
It's good stuff.
Absolutely. All right. Now, Rob, this subject for today, we are going to file under Please Don't Shoot the Messenger.
Yeah.
Okay? This is an important message for each and every one of us. And there is no discernment about who we're talking about when it comes to who this affects, because it affects every single one of us, and it's in the news today, this week. Rob, what's going on in the world of insurance land?
Well, there's a lot of unhappy people out there, to say the least. As costs of everything have gone up, the cost of insurance has exponentially gone up.
That's true.
And the value proposition, should you have a loss, has gone exponentially down.
Put that in layman's terms, you are paying more, in some cases way more, and you are getting less. You use the phrase, the rates are skyrocketing,
Yeah.
and the process is in the dungeon.
Yeah. Yep.
Yikes.
That's it. And perused a report from J.D. Powers, does lots of great reports, and this is a press release from June 13th of 2023.
Okay, that's like just a couple days ago.
And it's talking about rates, insurance rates.
Okay.
And it says, surging rates topple customer satisfaction.
Go figure.
Couldn't have said it better myself. For a year or so, I've been telling you it's the worst time in the world to have a loss because of so many different things. And every day I say it can't get worse than it is today, and every day it gets worse than it was yesterday.
Wow.
And worse for a lot of different reasons, which we're going to talk about. But this says auto insurance price increases are 3 times higher than other categories tracked by the Consumer Price Index.
Wow.
Almost 16% versus the average of 4.9.
An increase of 16% or almost 16%
Yep.
versus almost 5%.
Right.
Wow.
Overall customer satisfaction with auto insurance providers is 822 points, I guess, down from 834 a year ago. People are not happy. The decline is driven by a 25-point decrease in customer satisfaction with the price of their policies. Because you didn't do anything wrong, and you didn't have any claims, and your insurance is still going up.
Sure it is.
So that's the insurance increases are driving
Customer
unhappy
dissatisfaction.
people.
Sure.
Unhappy people.
Yep.
By the way, they talk a lot in here about UBI. And UBI is use-based insurance. Because the premiums are going up the way they're going up, you can get a little bit of a break on that if you use these use-based insurance products.
Now, use-based insurance are the types of you hook something up to your car with telematics.
Right? Put a dongle in.
Be careful where
your
you put your
OBD.
dongle. That's important.
Yeah. They have several different ways of doing that, but what it's doing is it's tracking your driving habits and behaviors.
This also includes an app on your phone that you
Could.
can install because your phone has the use of telematics and can report information.
Yep. But keep in mind, it's not only reporting your information. If you have another driver that's driving the vehicle that doesn't drive it as gingerly as you do, it doesn't necessarily know the difference of who's driving. And where you're driving, when you're driving, how long you've been someplace. I mean, it's got so much information.
Yeah.
I highly discourage using these products. It's giving them too much information. And they can use that information against you.
And if you think that it cannot happen, you have not been reading the headlines recently.
Yeah, there's lots of that going on. So,
All right, so that's the rate increase side of this conversation.
yes.
But there is another side altogether that is showing signs of great customer dissatisfaction.
Yes, it is. And for that, we go, I went to, or Eric went to the Colorado Department of Regulatory Agencies, which we call DORA, or the Department of Insurance.
Yes.
And they do not have statistics for 2023.
Right.
We have a report from 21 to 22.
Correct.
What I'm seeing across the nation in other states that do report 2023 numbers is an incredible escalation in claims made with the Department of Insurance.
Yeah, in some states, that escalation in the first 5 months of 23 have already eclipsed the entire year of 2022, which was greater than 2021.
And these are very, very important statistics, and they require you, the consumer. If you're having a problem with your insurer, and that is easy today, you don't feel like you're being treated right, they're delaying the claim, and we're going to go through all that.
Yeah.
You need to let the Department of Insurance know, because they're keeping track of this information,
Right.
and at some point will make some recommendations or penalties or something.
Sure.
But
But they don't know if you don't tell them.
So I want to focus on auto claims, although it's very similar in home and other property casualties.
Okay.
And so here we have auto complaints by category, and there's 4 categories. And policy services is 8%. Marketing, somebody lied to you or whatever, is 1%. Underwriting is 17%. So that's your
Can you
your
even get the
premium.
policy? Yeah.
It's your premium kind of stuff. Can you get the policy? And if so, how much is it going to cost? That's
Right.
underwriting, which is much higher than the other 2.
There's a big slice of pie right there.
But then we go to claims handling as the 4th item of auto complaints by category, which is 77% of the complaints.
More than 3/4 of the complaints have to do with the way that the claims are processed.
And keep in mind, if you own a home, you usually have your home and your cars bundled together. The home claims handling is at 84%.
Oh,
So 84% of the claims on homeowners is claims handling.
so homeowners and auto owners are experiencing much the same angst when it comes to the way their claims are handled.
When it comes to you've had a claim and you need to get made whole, claims handling is not in your favor these days, even though you're paying an exorbitant rate for it and incredible increases.
Yeah.
So the Department of Insurance drilled down into this claims handling subject and narrowed that down into 4 categories as to what's driving it. What about claims handling is the problem? And so denial of claims was 13%. Unsatisfactory settlement is 17%. Delays are 27%. And adjuster handling is 29%.
Wow.
This is from last year. It is worse this year. I don't know that by the numbers. I know that from doing business today.
If I had $100 in my pocket, I'd bet it on that.
Yeah. And the underwriting complaints, 46% of them were premium and rating. People are tired of paying all this money, and that's if you don't have a loss. If you have a loss, now you're going to be in this other category,
Right.
and now you're going to be doubly pissed off. Let's talk about some of these claims handling practices
Sure.
that are driving this. We experience incredible supplement delays. So when the car comes in, a half-assed estimate has been written by an insurer. But again, that's only on what they can see, and it's not even all they can see. It's just something to get the claim started. Then it comes to the shop. We disassemble it and write a meticulous repair plan to repair this thing, and then send that up to the insurance company. That can take 7 to 10 days, maybe longer, for them to respond to it. They'll respond right away that they got it, but now it's got to go through the review process and all the rest of that, and that can be a week or 2 for them to come back with something that doesn't begin to match what we send, and now we start that process over again.
Gotcha.
So there's a delay, and every delay, they're keeping the money in the bank. They make, when they do send it back, now they say, okay, we need more information. We need you to send us the procedures.
Don't they have access?
They have the same access to procedures as we do, but they'd rather us do it and then not pay us to do it.
That's keeping the money in the bank.
Yeah. They deny a lot of things, mostly because they're uneducated about how to repair a vehicle. So then we have to go in there and respond to those denials, and that takes time.
Takes time, yeah.
But this is them dragging it out. Here's a great one. They want invoices to prove that something was done, make it part of the file, whatever their gig is. So at the end of the repair process, many vehicles, almost all these days, need to go to the dealer for some sort of calibration or safety inspection or something, maybe even a recall that was discovered while it's here. And they're not going to pay the bill until they get the invoice. Well, that's the last step, other than detailing it for delivery, before it's ready to go. So we send that paperwork up, and again, it can be 7 to 10 days before they acknowledge it. Those that even acknowledge it right away, it's going to be 7 to 10 days before they issue payment for it.
So hypothetically, let me just run a hypothetical here. Hypothetically, we could have completed the repair and sent the car for calibration, and it comes back. Now it's in detail and sitting on the showroom floor, ready for delivery to the guest.
Yes.
And the insurer could hypothetically say, we understand, we've received your thing, we'll review that and get back to you in 7 to 10 days.
It happens. And then once they do it, if they agree to it, now you're going to wait 7 to 10 days for an actual check before you can pick up your vehicle.
So the guest, you, are hanging out knowing that your car is complete. You've done nothing wrong. Everything is going by the book the way the process is happening. And yet you can't have your car yet because it hasn't been paid for.
Unless you want to pay for it. But
nobody wants to do that.
Right.
You've already paid your premiums.
We're talking usually thousands of dollars they're waiting on to include in the last sup to send, and people just don't want to pay that. And all this time, I mean, think of all those 7 to 10 days that we talked about. We didn't even talk about ordering parts and delays in parts and stuff. Just the process.
Yeah.
How many of those 7 to 10 days does it take to use up a month? And what is your rental? Usually a month. And we haven't even repaired the vehicle yet, included in all these things. We're just getting approvals to repair it correctly. Now, if you take it to one of the insurance company's preferred shops...
Don't do that, but if you do...
I don't recommend it, but if you do, many of these things they don't have to go through. They get direct deposited, and they have agreements with the insurance company. They're not going to hold the car waiting for payment and all the rest of that. But you don't know what you're going to get as far as the repair goes, and the insurance company is the one that is going to dictate how those repairs go. And you have to be super on top, super engaged with reading the estimates and understanding how they're repairing your vehicle, because it's probably not going to be the way you really want to repair it.
It may use aftermarket or salvaged parts. It may they may cut corners on some of the procedures that are necessary,
or not even know that they need them.
Right?
It's a difficult way to go, and it's never works out good for the consumer. I shouldn't say never. There,
occasionally, right?
Yeah.
But
if you care about your car, that's probably not the route you want to go.
You might end up with a Frankenstein car, like the one in the card above or the link below. Go check out that video when we're done here, because I'll tell you what, we've got story after story of cars that have been hacked, worse than they were when they brought it to the shop.
Yeah, worse than the damage was to begin with.
Yeah.
It's horrific. So, to wrap this all up,
yep,
insurance rates are going through the roof. Quality of your experience from the insurance side is going in the dungeon. Delays may be costing you out of pocket. Denials may be costing you out of pocket in addition to your deductible. There's a lot of bad stuff going on. If you feel like things aren't going right, lean on the Department of Insurance. Let them know. They keep track of this and who's creating it.
Yep.
There are several ways to get around that, and a good shop will coach you on how to move the thing forward. And that's basically what I got for you. I mean, the rates are going up. There's nothing that anybody can do about that. But the quality, you can demand to speak to supervisor. Keep escalating it. Get everything in writing. Talk less to them on the phone. Do more in email.
Agreed.
So that you can show your case that they have not handled it well. That gives the department something to work with.
Yeah.
And who knows? You may also have a bad faith case on your hand.
as always, we encourage you to engage, right? Not just with us. We love it to see your comments. And, if you've got increased rates, let us know in the comments. If you've got an experience that is subpar, let us know in the comments. And similarly, if you're going, hey, my insurance is like the very best, let us know who you got,
Yeah.
and share that information as well. But also, be engaged with the shop that's handling your claim, your insurance company that's handling your claim, and the Department of Insurance if you feel there's any reason to question any of the process.
Absolutely.
We encourage you to check out our playlist of the airing of grievances. There are 126 other videos, and we're thankful for you to connect with us. These are here for you, and all we ask is that you share this and
Give us a thumbs up.
give us a thumbs up. All right, Rob, happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday to you, my dear friends. Happy Saturday to you. Have an amazing week. I'll see you next Saturday.